Alright everybody, welcome to the Lazy General. We're going to be playing a little bit of Stonehearth here. It's at Alpha 20 right now. We're not playing with any of the betas enabled or anything like that. We're just playing with the most recent release build as of the time this video is recorded. This is a game where you build a town with a bunch of adorable little townspeople who do wonderful slave labor for you. I've played it a lot on stream, and I thought it would be fun to kind of try my hand at a hard mode playthrough, really ramp up the difficulty settings, and see how we do. Might be a fun little YouTube series, so hopefully you guys will enjoy. If you do enjoy, please let me know in the comments section, and we'll see about continuing this series. So let's drop into the game here. This is the story of a brave band of settlers from, we have the Ascendancy or Rhea's Children. The Ascendancy are kind of like the base race of the game. An earnest and hard-working, loyal and well-rounded, citizens of the Ascendancy chop, build, and farm, confident that the known world is theirs to inhabit. And then we have Rhea's Children. The people of the desert learned early that to survive they needed each other, and preferably as many others as they could reach. Now visitors find them in generous hosts with access to goods from all over the world. I think we're going to go with the Ascendancy, because all the green is nice on my eyes and everything like that. I like the forest world, and I'm more comfortable with these guys, so if we're doing a harder difficulty level, I feel like that's who we should be going with. Let's set off to the temperate zone, the temperate biome. It's a Darkmoor forest. And we're gonna go with hard. We're going hard. Let's do this thing. It's sure to be a daunting place to start anew. Daunting indeed. So let's begin this adventure. Alright, so our expedition roster more or less looks good. Let's see, we've got some smart people, we've got some strong people, we've got some brave people. We've got a good mix of folks. We might try to do a reroll here, see if we get some better numbers maybe. Smart and spiritual, that's a good combination. I'm looking for this. I'm kind of looking for a good soldier here. So decent body and decent spirit looks pretty good. We're definitely going to start with the trapper's knife. It just takes too long in my experience to level up the blacksmith to get the trapper's knife, and that's a really beneficial thing to have early on. It lets you get skins, which are used for leather, and it also gives you a nice steady food source. And having a trapper lands you an adorable pet in your town, so who doesn't want that? So let's get going. This is a good world seed. Now we want to find a place that kind of has it all, and in my experience, being in the foothills is a really great option. Although, starting slightly further out, I mean, we'll be able to move all over the place anyway. The whole map is ours, but that's got that big area right there. I'm thinking this is where we want to start. This caught my eye immediately, so let's go in here. And we're going to settle right there. I realize the music is a little loud right now. I'm hoping it's going to come out okay in the recording. We'll find out. Alright, so here we are. Yes. Thank you, tutorial. Alright, so now we get to place our town banner. We've got a bunny statue right here. That's potentially a good source for stone, or a nice little feature in our town, depending on how we decide to roll. I know, the banner's very excited for me to place it. Let's see, if we go a little higher up, we won't have to deal with quite as many goblins coming in. We can kind of dictate when we're ready to expose ourselves to the outside world. I like that. So we're gonna build our little village right here. And we have to give our village a name, and in true Lazy General tradition, we're gonna call it Lazytown. So our initial supplies, we're going to need to get this town off the ground. We'll need wood and lots of it, chop down some nearby trees. I don't really need a tutorial. We're going to skip it. We're going to go ham. So first things first, we do need to harvest. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get all the things that are in this little area right here. And all the things over here. And we're just going to clear out a little clearing. Clear out a clearing. Haha. Words. And we're going to set ourselves up a stockpile. Right here. This way we have a place to drop everything. We're going to make it a nice square stockpile because that's just how I roll. We'll do a 12 by 12 stockpile to get started. And we're just going to throw everything in there off the get-go. We have a trapper's knife, so we want to hurry up and get someone assigned as a trapper and as a carpenter. But let's look at our townspeople. Who might make a good trapper? Someone with decent body. Devona Founder, that might be a good option. So, let's see. Oh god, it's been a minute since I've played this. Bear with me. Alright, Devona Founder is going to become a trapper. She gets the mayor's stamp of approval, and off she goes to become a trapper. Now, next we need a carpenter. And... perhaps Amelia Wester would make a good carpenter, so we'll drop that in there. And Amelia Wester is now our carpenter. Don't know why the menu's popping up. So everybody's busily dragging all that wood in. Let's see, I may have boned us. We may not have a food source here. This may be the shortest playthrough yet. I should have really looked at that a little bit more closely. Well, we'll try to make it work, so we'll hurry up and we'll get a carpenter's workbench. No, just the one. Just the one. Okay. So we've got our carpenter's workbench, and we're going to hurry up and plunk that down nice and close to the stockpile, so our carpenter has to walk as little as possible. A grizzled traveler has appeared. Here's something to get you started. Turnips, corn, and berries. Oh, thank you. How thoughtful. Okay, so in the crafting menu, we want to hurry up. We need to level up and get our farmer's hoe. So we're going to start building some things. We're going to start off perhaps with a small crate. Maybe even a couple of small crates. Once we get those built, we'll have a place to store our wood so we're not gobbling up stockpile space like crazy. They're not happy because they're running out of room. So we're going to go ahead and plunk these crates down right next to the carpenter's bench. No, no, no. Clicking on all the wrong things. And we're going to make sure to set these first for none, then for wood. And we're waiting an inordinately long time for these crates to finish. None, then wood. Alright, so they're just going to load wood into these places here. And we want to make sure we continue crafting things. So... perhaps it would be beneficial to slap down a house so our carpenter gets some experience. Because we want to hurry up and get that crafting hoe. We're just going to be lazy and make a shared sleeping quarters. Spin that around. And, oh, maybe we'll put it right here. Looks like a good spot. Build! Yes, build away! So that'll give our carpenter an excuse to build up some experience. They have to make all the furniture and everything for that building. So it's kind of a quick and dirty way for them to get better as quickly as possible. Because we're going to need a farmer's hoe immediately. We traded safety for food supplies, apparently. So we have carpenter level 1. I think we need to be level 2 before we can get the hoe. Yeah. Carpenter level 2. Hopefully that won't take too long to make. We'll throw a wooden practice sword in the list, though, and get us a soldier ASAP. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a little gandaroony around our available area and see if we happen to have had any food spawn. If not, we may have to bork our entire plan. Well, anyways, I need to designate a trapping area. That'll get us some food as well. We'll designate a large trapping area over here. And another one perhaps right here. And our trapper will start slaughtering fluffy little animals that dwell beneath the trees. You know, as one does. And immediately we're getting beds and things. That's a very positive thing for our villagers. They like sleeping in their own bed. Each villager has their own little likes, dislikes, and feelings. So if you click on their thoughts, right, they don't feel very safe. They've still got their pioneering spirit, though. So those are the problems that particular villager is feeling. Once we get a wooden sword, we can get us a soldier. And then they'll feel at least a little bit better about the situation. They're going to be happy about having beds as well. Having less beds than we have people isn't exactly like a crisis situation, but they're never happy about sharing beds. They all like to have their own. They're greedy like that. So our trapper is going to be paying dividends pretty quickly. I can't believe that slipped my mind and I started worrying about food. But it's not a massive... Oh, there we go. Carpenter level 2. Excellent, we're moving right along. So we want to get us a farmer's hoe, and we're going to throw that on the list right now. And we might as well make... Oh, nope, we need to get some stone before we can make a mason's hammer. Never mind, I lied. Well, that bunny statue's looking tempting for stone, but we can always get some right here. We can do some mining. So we'll mine us a little tunnel. Start chipping away at this a little bit. And that'll give us a start. And get us some stone in our stockpile. Are these already full up on wood? They're probably not. Use space 8 out of 8, 8 out of 8, 8 out of 8. Not ideal. We're still losing a lot of stockpile space to wood. So I guess for the time being... we'll make another stockpile, another 12 by 12, and just let them load whatever in there. Just so we have space to gather everything together. We don't want to be leaving resources laying out in the wild. And we want to make sure that, like, our trapper can bring food back to the town and everything. So we should have, in theory, completed our wooden sword, unless the carpenter was busy building. Might have been working on that house. It's kind of a nice part of the crafting system that the carpenter will automatically queue up whatever's needed for the design you put together. There we go, we've got our sword. So, I think we're gonna do Rosemont as our first soldier. Footman! Forgive me. I keep accidentally clicking on that because I'm a clicky McClickster. Alright, so we have a city guard, more or less. We'll want to hurry up and produce a shield for them. Can we shield yet? We can. We'll throw a shield on the list. So our first house is still working, but we'll have a shield before long. And we'll be in good shape. So now we have a shield, our footman will be that much tougher. It can be a real lifesaver. And we need a farmer. So Orsa Bob has good body, so might make a good farmer. Our smarter people will have more stuff to do eventually. So we're not doing bad for day one. I can't really complain. So we're going to start off with a nice big field of, perhaps we'll go with some turnips to get us some food ASAP, and some carrots. And I'm just going to plot out a couple of extra fields just for future planning. And we'll start making, we won't plant anything in them. We'll just leave them fallow and let our farmer get them set up for when we need to rotate crops eventually. It's a good idea to do that, otherwise your food production wanes. You need to give the land time to recover from the ravages of man, as it were. So, can we build anything fancy by any chance? Anything to sell? We do have the capacity, but we may wait for a bit. Perhaps we'll make some fences? We'll make a batch of fences so we can fence in our farmyard. It'll look all pretty. Pretty is nice. Make, that's a lot. We'll start with 20. I'm trying to just think of capacity and how long our carpenter's going to be tied up. But this will be important for getting our carpenter leveled up so they make more fine stuff for us to sell. And it looks like the house itself is complete. All that's left is to put the finishing touches on it and take down the scaffolding. And seriously, I love the building system in this game. I mean, it gets buggy sometimes and has problems. But just the fact that they actually have to go through the trouble of making scaffolding so that they can finish the building, I think that's really cool. Like a lot of these town management games, when you watch your people building a building, they just kind of walk up and wail on a corner of it with a hammer for a little while, and the building just kind of magically grows out of the dirt. But this is the most effort I think I've ever seen put into just the process of building in a game, and I think that's really cool. This is a game that I genuinely love playing, and even when it, you know, kind of beats you down a little bit every now and again, like, it's so satisfying and so relaxing. Like, the music is so nice, the visuals are pretty. I mean, it's just a wonderful experience overall. Our farmer needs to get hot on this stuff. She's working hard. We're starting to get fences. You know, we're getting some jerky from our trapper, so we're doing good there. So we'll start planning to lay out some fence. I know there's a better way to do this. I know there's a better way to do this. Aha! I knew there was a better way to do this. Alright, so we've got our first building complete. Did we ever do this digging that I wanted done? No, they haven't done it yet. Not enough food, not enough money, no new people. Earthling morale. Yep, I understand. Morale shouldn't be too bad. We have food. I mean, jerky may not be the most exciting meal on the planet. So I think what we're going to do for today... No, our trapper is now level 1. Is we'll build another shared sleeping quarters here. We may need to clear out some space though, so let's take out this tree. I got a couple more trees. Invaders! Where are they at? It's little rock dudes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sound the alert. That's gonna pull our people back from the fighting and keep them safe. And we'll have our footman go in here and kick some ass. She should be able to handle these dudes. She's got it. She's got a shield, so she's a lot more resilient. She's got to earn that pay, yo. Be serious. Ooh, they do hit a lot harder. They take a lot more damage, too. Alright, we can probably turn down the town alert though, because it's being handled. It's just being handled slowly. There we go. Handled. So a couple of things immediately spring to mind as problems that I've encountered right after that. First off, I think we're going to need a second farmer. We definitely are going to need a second farmer. And we may need to get us an herbalist. But first I want to get a second farmer. Step 1. We'll put down some more of these fences. That might help keep our poor farmers from getting bushwhacked. Let's see. That's a little too tight. I'm saying. You're super in the way. Thank you. So we'll have to leave a little bit more space next to the fields than I really wanted to, but it's okay. These are... okay, first off, I've completely screwed this up. And we're gonna have to adjust this fencing. I put one in the wrong spot, and now it's all gone to hell. But I think we need to wait for them to put these down before I can mess with them. I think that's the safest way. It's a good idea to take measured steps in this game, because you never know what's gonna break it. No, that's not where I wanted that. Silly. Alright, we'll just move you here. We'll let them finish doing that. Have we got our farmer's hoe yet? We do. Alright, so second farmer's gonna be a good idea. And unfortunately, there's nobody left with particularly good body. So you're gonna have to be a farmer. You'll do for now. Alright, so fortunately, that ended up working out in our favor. Because it didn't let me put a fence where there shouldn't be a fence. So... no offense! Oh ho ho! And I want to make some smaller fields. Specifically for growing flowers so we can start making medicine. That's going to be important as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some... is that 11? 11 by 5 fields. Bright bellflower. Why can't I plant bright bellflower? Oh, because my farmers are still apprentice farmers. So we'll just call this planning for the future as well. Alright, neither of my farmers are level 1 yet. Well, they've gotten those fields planted. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's finish placing what fences we have. Did I make a fine picket fence? I mean, the fine, like, carpentry production is all well and good, but when you randomly make fine stuff when you really didn't want fine stuff, it gets a little annoying. Maybe we'll stockpile our fine picket fence and make something pretty. Okay, and then we still need to build another... well, maybe we'll hurry up and build the dining hall. Because I know that's important. For our town's social life. The dining hall is where people like to gather, and it's good for happiness. So we'll plunk down a dining hall. They can rotate beds a little while. Anything exciting? No, fur rugs. Bolt of leather. Do we have anything worth selling? Not really. Our poor soldier is still hurting. Oh, I really hate to be making an herbalist staff already. Because we're very lean on just people. And we don't have the flowers for it anyway, so never mind. Alright, so now that our farmers are done hoeing, maybe they'll start gaining some EXP. In fact, I might not need the second farmer all that badly. Because the hoeing itself is done, so we're more or less caught up. It's nighttime. It's time for my favorite part of the game, when one of my little workers comes over here and starts the town fire. I love it. Something about it I just find massively enjoyable. Now, did we ever go dig this area? They're finally working on that, so we're finally getting some stone. So we can add in a mason's hammer to the list of things to be built. The mason will allow us to get a little quick and dirty weapon upgrade as well, which is nice. And we're gonna need to hurry up and add a second soldier before too long. Because poor Rosemont is hurting. We don't have any means to really heal her, other than just time. So work is progressing on the dining hall. We've dug out that mining area. I'm also trying to avoid queuing up too much stuff for my little peeps to do. Because if you overload them with stuff, they will forget what they were doing. They will. Oh yeah. We've got the beginnings of a nice little town going here. There's obviously a lot of work, what needs to be done still. I don't want to queue up building in roads or anything just yet. Roads are nice for helping people to get along, but we're still kind of fleshing out the area here. She's still cranking out stuff for the dining hall, which is good carpenter experience. I can't really complain. I think she keeps making fine stuff too. Fine wooden chair. Fine wooden window frame. I don't know if I don't think they'll use that for the house though. So I think if she keeps making fine stuff, like yeah, I think if she keeps making fine stuff. Can I replace this? I think I have to do it manually. I think I'd have to like take it down and put the fine lantern up like by hand. Which is a pain. We'll probably do that eventually though. We'll probably move the video out to about 40 minutes here. That seems like a good digestible time for a Stonehearth video. With a game like this, I usually like to do my YouTube videos in 20-minute increments. But I feel like with a game like this, not enough happens in 20 minutes. So I feel like maybe recording a little bit more time will help. I don't think they're using any of that fine stuff. No, they're just using the regular stuff. So it must be queuing up more for the carpenter to do. But soon, my people will have a place to eat. A feasting hall where they can share their memories and their triumphs. In fact, as soon as that table went down, they technically had a place to gather and eat. I think they'll approve of that. That's very No Moria. I don't know about Dwarf Fortress, because I never actually played Dwarf Fortress. The ASCII graphics kind of turned me off a bit. But I did play a bit of No Moria, which I find very enjoyable as well. And the dining hall was a big part of No Moria. Like, it was very key to the happiness of your little gnomes. So, we're still making the hammer and chisel. I think we can queue up another set of fences. We'll make another 20 fences. And perhaps even go crazy and make a gate. So we'll continue making this area pretty. That is important. Our vegetables are coming along nicely. I don't know if our farmer will level up until she gathers. Well, trapper level 2. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. No, we still don't have the option. Now, I've played this game quite a bit, mind you, but I've never really paid attention to the build paths that closely. Oh, we've got the net worth, but we lack the food. But soon that'll be resolved, and we'll start adding more townspeople. But yeah, I've played this game a lot, but I've never paid that close of attention to like the build paths and stuff like that. But I'm kind of like ramping things up a bit because I'm on hard mode, and I know the monsters are going to be a lot meaner. It may be beneficial to crank out one more sword, too. I feel like we need a 2-person army, but I don't want to lose too many laborers to do general things. Otherwise, things will slow down pretty dramatically. I don't know, we may really not need 2 farmers at this stage. But I think Orsa Bob can go back to being a regular... Well... We'll have her do the mason job for now. We really only need 1 farmer for 2 fields for this small of a village. We'll add a second farmer before too long, but yeah, 2 farmers may be excessive. Alright, so now that we've got Orsa Baub, we can make ourselves a mason workbench. Make that workbench. I don't know how we're doing on stone. Seems like we've got a lot of random ore and not a lot of stone specifically. Did our mason... Oh, carpenter level 4. Excellent. Excellent. That's what we like to see. We've also got a second hoe just laying around. That's the carpenter workbench. Or not carpenter, stonemason's workbench. We'll butt that right up against the carpenter's workbench. This will be a nice little production area for all your productioning needs. We just need to wait for a worker to come over and drop that. But as you can see, we're already running lean on just base laborers. So I'm hesitant to assign too much more job. I mean, having 2 base laborers is pretty okay. I mean, it's doable. But I really don't want to go below 2. I really don't want to drop down to just 1. And I want to keep leveling up our carpenter because that's going to be fairly important down the road. Like being able to produce high quality goods and sell them. It can be really important. I don't want to assign them to place all that fencing either until we get our mason's workbench down. So we got about 5 more minutes left in this episode. I'm hoping to at least have our mason's workbench down. It looks like nope. They're really all about this dining hall right now. I can set priority though. Let's see. Let me remember how. Don't remember. It's been so long. Oh, never mind. She finally went and did it. She's gone and done it. So what can we make? We can't make this weapon yet. Need a level 1 mason. Oh boy. What can we have her build? Build a couple of stone benches, I guess. We'll go with 4 stone benches. And if she hits Mason level 2 before she finishes 4 stone benches, we will cancel that. Assuming I remember to do that, of course. How's our farmer doing? Still an apprentice. Get better. Be better. Be a better farmer. I mean, I know it's a low EXP thing. Put a nice little stone bench out here. Give people a place to sit. People do like to sit. And just take in the world. I know I like a good sit every now and again. Oh, I just went and placed the same bench twice, thus undoing what I did before. It's all gone to hell. And it looks like the dining hall is complete. So that is certainly a thing. And I guess we can go ahead and set up... Rufus Garrow has arrived with wares to sell. Wares? Well, he's got stonecutter stuff, but we've got no money. We could sell some of our fine constructions. Just to get a little gold. And then we can buy up some stone. 5 gold apiece. Buy them out. That leaves us with 2 gold worth of profit, but it gets us some stone to keep our mason working. So we don't have to wait for the mining. The minering. Make a couple of bird baths, I guess. Make me bird baths. Get me pictures of Spider-Man. Now, back to what I was doing. We were getting ready to place these fences. It appears that when you request regular, and she produces fine by accident, she'll, like, apologize profusely and then hurry up and make another regular item. Which I don't remember being the case before, but I'm not going to complain, because that makes it so much simpler for keeping things orderly. And if you know me, I really like to keep things orderly. It's kind of my thing. So we'll hurry up, we'll place down these fence. And that is going to be about all we're doing for this episode, y'all. So that batch of fence is down. Our little farming area is starting to look farm-tastic. Our farmers still have not leveled up to level 1. So buttons. So buttons. I swear, I'm overworking her as hard as I can, but she's just not doing it. So we've got some bird baths we can put down around town, I guess. We've got some more benches too, so we'll put them outside of the dining hall. And we'll sprinkle some bird baths about the town. Just to keep things looking nice. Maybe one out here. We'll wait. We'll wait until we have better ideas where to put them. We'll put one right there. I wonder if the bird bath actually draws birds. Oh, we'll have to find out. But that's going to do it for us for this episode, everybody. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, make sure to, like, comment, and subscribe, yo. If you like the video, then I know you're enjoying it, and I know I need to make more. I'm planning to make more anyway for right now, but yeah. And make sure to check me out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/lazygeneral. I play games like this all the time, primarily strategy and city builder stuff. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining me here, and until the next time, bye-bye.